Don't start. I don't start. I'm preparing. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Braze Live interactive session for week 5. Aren't you excited that this is week 5? And we have so much to, oh, sorry. So we have so much in stock for you for the Braze Life Interactive session for week 5. This week we'll be doing opportunities in climate smart adoption, climate smart agriculture adoption. Many of you have asked questions around this in time past, asking how the carbon markets work, how climate finance work, and all of that. This is the opportunity to, ask those questions again and get the necessary answers. So quickly, let's run through the agenda for today. But before we do that, if you are a French speaker, kindly just click on the interpretation button. It's actually at the fourth right of the screen. Sometimes you would not see interpretation directly. You see more, click on more, and then you see interpretation. You see English and French. Select French, after which you can decide to mute the original audio, because if you mute the original audio, you will not be hearing me speak in English. You will just be hearing only the French. But this is applicable only if you are joining on computer audio or you have Zoom downloaded on your phone. So please, if you have the Zoom app on your phone, you can enable the language interpretation or kindly just join with computer. All right, thank you so much. So today we have the introduction, telling you about AFC. I want you all to cross about AFC with me because we've done it for a very long time, since week 1, so you should be used to it right now. So we have the membership drive, then the participant sharing session, after which we'll have Mr. Charles Barreiro do the speaker's presentation. Then we'll do unveiling of top scholars, portal walkthrough, and then we'll have the next steps and closing. So like we always do, this is the time you have to introduce yourself in the comment section. Tell us your name, your country, your agribusiness, and feel free to connect with like-minded entrepreneurs. So you can say your name. Oh, Paige Rhyme, I'm from Nigeria and I work as a program officer with African Food Chain Makers. So quickly do that in the comment section. I wish I could just read all of introduction you're making in the comment section. I'm sorry, I'm sharing my screen and I'm not able to do that now. So tell us also how you feel today. This a very exciting emoji. Don't use your favorite emoji because some of you may have scary emojis. Use an exciting emoji to tell us how you feel about participating in Braze Live interactive session for week 5. Oh, why is that noise coming from?
Hi, Patience. Let's mute everyone. Let admin mute everyone.
That's what I'm trying to do. All right, I've done that. All right. So quickly, let us do about African food chain makers. So at African Food Chain Makers, we believe that small and medium-sized enterprises are the lifeblood of the food ecosystem in Africa. These enterprises are driven by visionary, dynamic, and innovative entrepreneurs who operate as primary producers, aggregators, processors, distributors, finance and technology providers, chefs, cooks, consultants, and innovators. We call these people change makers. It means you're a change maker because all of this description is why you are participating in this program. And so these change makers are faced with the devastating impact of climate change, global and local risks and shocks, macro and microeconomic challenges. These entrepreneurs need funding, they need training, visibility, market linkages, and community of support to successfully scale their businesses. Through the African Food Changemakers Hub, we enable African entrepreneurs to start and scale resilient and sustainable agribusinesses that nourish Africa and the world at large. So how we do what we do is by community, by data and opportunities, visibility and recognition, and then learnings and trainings, just like what we are having right now. So to take us further in this session, we'll quickly have our membership drive. We have always said this, that you are not eligible, you're not a tangible BRACE participant if you are not a member of the AFC platform, membership platform yet. So to quickly do the membership drive and tell you how and why it is important to be a member of African Food Changemakers, I'll call on the membership team to quickly take us through that. Hi, Nusa.
Hi,
Can you
Patience.
hear me?
Thank you so much. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Please, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I love your smile today. So, so welcome once more to today's session to our best participants. And Patience has said it all actually. My name is Nosa Obano. I work as membership officer at Africa Food Chain Makers. And I'm here to speak directly to people that are on this call, participants that are on this call that are not yet part of the community. You can see or you can hear all what Patience has said, all the benefits we give to our community members, including access to scaling their businesses. We also help our entrepreneurs to prepare them for global and African new markets. We have a designated resource page where our members can leverage opportunities from financial support, from resources to data opportunities to events at exhibition event as well, and even to capacity building programs or trainings that you can leverage as an entrepreneur. We have a community of entrepreneurs across 49 African countries, and we have membership growth. In terms of number, we have over 7,000 members on our hub, and it shows that you can leverage this network. At AFC, we help entrepreneurs scale. We also create that visibility for them. We have a designated communications team that spotlight our members, have conduct interview sessions with them, engaged in social media storytelling. As an entrepreneur, the importance of storytelling is also important in your agribusiness from day-to-day activities as well. And we have knowledge sharing sessions as members that you can attend virtually in monthly and quarterly. Monthly sessions include our first Thursday event, our Agri funding event. All these sessions are created for entrepreneurs to leverage capacity building initiative, listen to experts in the industries that come to share knowledge. And within the community as well, we have experience sharing sessions where our members can interact with each other, share experiences, share challenges, and share support. We have a resource hub, like I said, where entrepreneurs can leverage opportunities to links to referrals to funding opportunities, to capacity building opportunities, and also to event and data resources as well. So all these opportunities are free of charge for our entrepreneurs. You can leverage this team by becoming our members. Now, the next step is to show you how we can become part of the community. Next slide, please. Why the next step is coming up, as a member, if you are not yet following our social media handles, you are missing out because we also post initiatives, we post activities that we do, and we post opportunities via our social media as well. And the first thing to get across to us is that you are familiar with our website, www.afcup.org, our social media handles at African Food Chain Makers on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. On LinkedIn, we are African Food Chain Makers as well. And we on our website, you can see our activities. For those that are joining us for the first time or those that want to become part of our community, on that website, you will see a join the community icon where you click and it takes you to a page where you'll be asked some questions. These questions are just, won't take your time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes for you to take those questions. And we ensure that all the fields you are filling are precise and accurate. We want the information to be accurate so that when we share resources with you and opportunities that are streamlined based on the responses that you give when you are filling the form. Then ensure that when you fill that form, you click on the submit button. This will make sure that all the input you've kept in your form is being captured, and we get a notification that a member has submitted or a potential member has submitted its application. We review that from our end, and review process always take maybe 24 to 48 hours when we review your information, your document that you've sent, and some other vital information about your business and you as an individual. We confirm those details and we verify you. Once we verify, you also receive an email that gives you access to your full membership dashboard. On your dashboard, you can see all the resources that we share. You can also engage with other entrepreneurs as well and look out for more of all the initiatives that we do on our dashboard. On your dashboard, you have the marketplace where you can upload your product and your services. We also have the referral where you can engage and chat with other entrepreneurs as well. For you to access all these benefits as a member and also join the community, it is requested that you meet these three criteria that we request from you. First is that you should own an agribusiness or you work for an agribusiness where you can make top decisions about that business. So that maybe you are not the owner of the business, you are either the CEO or the manager or the co-founder, some a position where you can make decisions on behalf of the business that you work for. Also, that business that you work for or that you own should be in existence for at least 6 months before you sign up to be a member. And the last part is that you should have a social media presence. Either you have a Facebook account or a WhatsApp or even a WhatsApp or a website where we can see activities that relate to what you do in the agri-food space. Once you meet these three criteria, you can definitely sign up to become part of the community and we review your application and approve them, then you can be added to the community groups, the WhatsApp group, the Facebook group, the LinkedIn group, even the Telegram channel where you can continue your engagement with other entrepreneurs and we shortlist you for opportunities as they come. These are the simple steps you need to take to become part of the community. And having said that, for those who are yet to be part of the community, please follow the link that has been dropped in the chat box and you can start your journey as a member of the community. Thank you, and I'm available in the chat box for any further questions that relates to the membership activity at African Food Chainmakers. Over to you, Patience.
All right, Nosa, thank you so much. Thank you for taking us through the membership drive. So if you are not yet a member of African Food Chainmakers, please do to click on the link that's been shared in the comment section and become a member. If you are, Nosa has already explained why you need to be a member, and that's actually very important if you want to keep enjoying African Food Changemakers going forward beyond the BRICS project. So participant sharing session, this is the time where we get to understand or know who actually has gone through the portal. So many people have downloaded certificates. So I know that many people have gone through module 5 in the portal. This is module 4. So module 5 in the portal. So quickly, if you have something to share around opportunities in climate smart agriculture adoption, just like you have gone through the portal, please raise your hand and then we'll call you to, share your key takeaway from the module. So if you have any, I will check. I'm not sure I can see hands, but I'll try. Please raise your hand and then we'll ask you to share your learnings from the portal. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Moshood Mejigbedu and Bem Asen. Okay, so we'll just start with Moshood. Please kindly unmute and let us know what you have taken away from module 5. Hi, Moshood.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Your Food Systems Agribusiness Hub Limited. It's quite interesting. Module 5, very, very interesting and important topic for every agro business entity should go about. We discussed about climate smart. This is a condition whereby you are able to utilize the prediction of the climate condition. For example, you wanted to go and plant, you wanted to establish a plantation when it is the time the rain is going. For example, you want to plant watermelon, for example, at October, and you didn't have any you don't know you don't really understand about the weather condition, about the market. But with climate smart condition, you can decide to go with drip irrigation system, whereby when the rain stops, you have a water system that will be able to nurture your crops. When other farmers cannot plant, you'll be able to continue your planting and you make a good profit, especially when in the market, the lower, the demand is higher while the supply is lower. But with using a climate smart parameter, in this sense, I'm talking about a drip irrigation system, you'll be able to achieve a lot, even have a higher yield and increase your productivity. More so, the use of solar electricity to power your energy need. For example, solar water pump is a smart way to go, in agricultural production. When the rain is not coming, you can utilize the sun power instead of buying for the fluctuation of the price and all that. But with solar energy, you can have, is a smart way to go. Let me use that word, because you have comfortability, that there's not going to be power outbreak, that there's not going to be scarcity of fuel or absence of fuel. The sun is there 24/7. So these are one of the things that I've learned so far.
Thank you so much, Moshood. Thank you for your contribution. So we'll quickly go to the next person, Asen. Please, I'm asking you to unmute and speak.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Ben.
Yeah,
Please
thank
go
you so
ahead.
much. Yeah, so for me, the last module, I learned about carbon markets. I came into this program hoping to learn so much about carbon markets, and the presentation by Dr. Funshaw basically just did it for me. So after I had that class, I went to read more about carbon markets. Before now, I would find it difficult to understand the whole concepts around it, but now I have, had so much an in-depth understanding of that area. So I'm already reading and taking it further, and I am hoping that I will use that knowledge and actually close the gaps that are basically preventing Africa from, tapping into the carbon market. So for me, it was a very, very important module. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you. So Nelson Ande, that's the last hand I have raised. So please unmute and speak. Nelson.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good time where you are. I'm so thrilled with this particular module because it reminds me of the ancient practice of agriculture. But I never knew it has a name to be climate smart agriculture until I went through this model and had to do further studies on it. In the village where I grew up from, the ancient practice was that when we hear frog making noise at a certain kind of noise, and we hear bird making a certain kind of sound, and we hear the wind blowing in a certain direction, then we will know that this is the right time to plant such a crop. And then it also gives us an idea of when not to plant. And when I came across this particular module, I said, wow, so what we were practicing in the village is something that has a name. And with these tools that have been atomized, such as making use of just like irrigation, like the brother say, and also testing for seed moisture and knowing when the seed is okay for, like, in terms of storage. And then you will know when to carry out a certain aspect of the farming. I'm in the farming industry, so sector of the agriculture industry. So we try to know when this can be done with this. So I believe now that with these modern tools and with my ancient practice, which I still adapt prior to this particular course, I'll be able to do massive in agriculture because recently we know that the NIMATs and in Nigeria, they have been given prediction of when rain will fall, when rain will not fall. But it seems to have a kind of a breach within the time they gave. We couldn't get the result they gave us. But so I fell back to my birds. I fell back to the noise of the bird and then that of frog. So I believe that if I can be able to work hand in hand with this ancient practice and these modern tools as given in the breeze, I can be able to do more. I never knew that those tools were there until I started. So it's such a very good moment for me, and I thank those for the opportunity to learn if anything.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. For everyone that shared their key takeaways, thank you, everyone. It means that you're actually following and then you're going through the portal and following with us. Thank you so much. So quickly, we'll go to the speaker's presentation. And this is, oh, I'm sorry, another hand is raised. I'm sorry, we're not able to take that now. Maybe after the speaker's presentation, we'll take more key takeaways so that we don't keep our speaker waiting. Thank you so much. So for our speaker today we have Charles Waweru. He is the head of carbon projects development at Vast Carbon. He leads efforts to enhance Africans' presence in carbon markets. Vast Carbon, advancing Africa's role in carbon markets, focuses on leveraging climate finance to foster green jobs and community benefits through project financing, DMRV, community benefits sharing, and transparency. The company excels as a technology provider and project developer in carbon markets. Charles combines academic rigor with practice experience, holding a degree in applied mathematics and pursuing an MSc in environmental science, complemented by a PGD IP in GHGRV. His expertise spans environmental regulations and government relations in carbon markets, encompassing methodologies from Article 6 to CDM and Plan V. Interests range from clean cooking to renewable energy, and it actively engages in knowledge sharing and capacity building in carbon markets through grassroots and international events. Charles also drives initiatives to assist government in formulating carbon markets activation plans, showing his dedication to advancing sustainable practices in Africa's carbon markets landscape. So with a round of applause or a very beautiful ovation in the comment section, let us welcome our speaker for today, Charles Waweru. Hi, Charles. Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much for that. Let me project my screen. And maybe someone can confirm that they can see the screen I'm sharing.
Okay, yes, we can see your screen,
Good.
Charles.
I am truly pleased to be here today and even more excited because this is a continuation of a journey I think we began last year and together with the Africa Food Change Makers as part of the BREST program that is building resilience against climate and environmental shocks. It's all about empowering agripreneurs to understand how climate change impacts your business and equipping you with the practical tools to adapt, mitigate risk, and take advantage of the climate smart practices. Today, we're going to be talking quite a bit on opportunities in climate smart agriculture. That said, allow me to switch off my video to be able to concentrate on the presentation. Others, I'm really excited. And please feel free to take note of questions, or you put your questions in the chat box and we shall review them once I'm done my presentation. I'll take about 15 minutes to quickly go over some of the key things that I have in store for you today. But of course, I'm going to share this with the patients, and they should be able to share this presentation with the members of the yeah. That said, allow me to now quickly go over and share a bit of who we are. So before we dive into the technical stuff, let me share a little about Vast Carbon's journey, because like many of you, we started as a small, bold idea. We officially kicked off operations back in 2022. We just 3 of us handled around a laptop, if you can say so. Fast forward to today, we're a team of 25 change makers, if I can put it that way, working across Africa, helping to turn climate ambition into real business opportunities. I can say our superpower has been the ability to help companies, organizations like yours, design and develop carbon projects that actually work towards reducing emissions, improving livelihoods, and bringing in new revenue from the carbon markets. We also provide hands-on advice to help you navigate all the nitty-gritty details of the carbon markets so you can focus on farming, innovating, and growing your business. We are touches at heart to building DMRV systems to keep to ensure everything is transparent and easy to track, from clean cooking to smart agriculture. And just like we are doing today, we love empowering others through training, coaching, and demystifying carbon markets so more African entrepreneurs can step into this exciting space. If you ever feel small or unsure about where to start, remember, 2 years ago, we were just Tripoli in a dream in an office here in Nairobi, Kenya. But today, our footprint is stretching across the continent with a heavy presence in East, Central, and Southern Africa. And just as you, I can say that your journey can scale just as fast. You're in the right place at the right time to lead Africa's climate smart future. And I'm sure with the insights you'll be learning from the BREST program, you have already now known how to scale your operation and who can help you in doing the same. Today, we're going to cover 2 main things. In principle, we're going to look at the overview of the climate smart agriculture opportunities and carbon market dynamics. I like the fact that you had a session on carbon markets. Therefore, I know at least that the transition into this knowledge will be more easier, if I can put it that way. As we dive into the overview of climate smart agriculture opportunities, or if I can just put it as CSA, we are going to explore 7 innovative areas where you, as an agripreneur, can create both climate and business impact. These 7 areas ranging from biochar production and rotational grazing to agroforestry, methane reduction in livestock, manure management, regenerative agriculture, and even black soldier fly bioconversion showcases the wide spectrum of climate smart solutions available in agriculture today. Each one is a practical entry point for you to tap into new value chains, improve resilience, and of course, unlock the potential of carbon markets. The key thing about us here in Africa is that we have an abundance of land and there's so much you can do in the areas of agriculture. And therefore, we go with the first one, and I'm sure most of you have heard about this. We'll start with biochar production. It's a huge untapped opportunity for agripreneurs like yourselves. Biochar, as you know, most of you know, is made from heating agricultural waste like crop residues or even manure in the absence of oxygen, a process we call it pyrolysis, or in some cases, gasification. Why does this matter for your farm or for your business? Well, number one, adding biochar to your soil boosts for soil fertility and water retention, which means healthier crops and higher yields. It can turn farm waste from a headache into a valuable input, closing that loop on your own production and even creating a potential product to sell locally. There's also a climate bonus. When you make and use biochar, you lock carbon into the soil, so not just growing food, but also fighting climate change, opening doors to carbon markets and finance. Remember, when you're looking at biochar, you're looking at the circular economy effect, whereby you have harvested your rice, you have taken to a miller, you've got your rice husk. You take the rice husk, you can do pyrolysis by way of, let's say, an earth mound. You get the raw biochar, mix it with, let's say, some bit of inorganic fertilizer like that coming from the black soldier fly. And what you have is a highly enriched soil amender, which you can now again take it back to your rice farm, take it back to your maize farm, or wherever else it is. Making sure, number one, you are reducing your consumption of the synthetic fertilizer. As farmers, you know very well that sometimes synthetic fertilizers might be cheap, might give you high yield in a short amount of time, but you also know very well that over the long term, you're increasing soil acidity and therefore over time, your soil is becoming degraded. But by using soil amenders like that one of Boucher, you are ensuring that one, you are improving the productivity of your soil without presenting any danger such as that of degradation. For us, we believe that Boucher, which is one of our key flagship projects, is a key unlocker to ensure that African farmers can stop relying on synthetic fertilizer. You will also remember that this synthetic fertilizer is often imported. Now just go and research in your country, whether in Ghana, Kenya, the Congo, or even Malawi, wherever you are. Just look at how much your government spends in importing this synthetic fertilizer. A lot of money is spent in terms of forex, in terms of USD, and even that synthetic fertilizer, you have to keep on using more and more every other time because your soil over time is becoming degraded. So for us, we believe that Boucher is an important opportunity. We have got a case of so many people within East and Central Africa, and even in Ghana, doing a lot of Boucher production as a small holder farmers. And we invite you guys to really look into that, not only as a carbon market opportunity, but also as an agricultural opportunity for yourselves. Secondly is rotational grazing. Simple in concept, powerful in practice, and very relevant for livestock entrepreneurs. Instead of leaving animals in one pasture, you rotate them through a series of paddocks. Each area gets time to rest and recover, which leads to stronger pastures. As simple as that, as you can see on the diagram to your right-hand side. What does it mean for you? Should you practice rotational grazing if you're a livestock farmer, you are assured of healthier, more productive animals thanks to better quality forage. You're looking at improved soil structure and fertility, less need for purchased feed and fertilizers. You're also storing more carbon in the soil, which makes your operation more climate smart and potentially eligible for green finance. We shall be looking at an example of such kind of project towards the end of our presentation today for you to see if you are doing such kind of a project at a large scale, what does it mean with respect to the carbon market ecosystem? It's very important for us to just take a chill pill and see, okay, I have been used to doing things in a certain manner, but what if we keep on adapting to this so-called climate smart agriculture? Will it increase my yield? Yes. Will it also decrease my dependence on synthetic fertilizers? Yes. Could it potentially allow me to earn carbon finance or carbon credits? I hope you guys were very attentive to see how you can just develop such a project that is showing a reduction or a removal of these so-called greenhouse gases. And definitely when you're doing rotational grazing, this is one such project. In Kenya here, we have a project that is spanning 2 million hectares. And I can tell you for free that about 2 years ago, the community was able to get about $2 million in terms of carbon finance that was shared across the different communities who are participating in this kind of grasslands management project. So things are out there, and I'll show you where else you can get to see more of these projects for those who want to scale their reading. Now let's talk about agroforestry, which is one of the smartest investments you can make as an agripreneur if you've got the right scale of land and of course a connection to other smallholder farmers. Agroforestry simply means planting trees alongside your crops or pastures. Why does it matter? Trees act as natural barriers, reducing soil erosion, helping your fields hold more water, and even shielding crops from wind. What's more, agroforestry systems mimic the natural balance found in forests. This often means less need for chemical inputs, better productivity, and long-term soil health. The real impact? Well, your farm becomes more resilient to droughts and floods, supports more biodiversity, and can even access new income streams like timber, fruit, or even carbon credits, while also improving the livelihoods of the rural communities. I like to give the example of some of the projects we are doing. In the case of agroforestry, we are doing a project with Palladium in northern Uganda, whereby we are putting together smallholder farmers who are in the coffee and tea sector. And what we're telling them is, if you are able to nurture these trees over a certain number of years without chopping them down, you could potentially be generating what we call the carbon credits. It's something that has been done by a number of people. Maybe some of you might have heard of Tiste, Solidaridad. All these are companies, entities who are doing such kinds of projects. So as you as a farmer, you can focus on your coffee business, and also you're having this shade tree, for example, that is acting as a wind barrier, a windbreaker, and also as a shade for your coffee. And as you're doing that, protecting your primary crop, which is the coffee, you're also potentially generating what you're calling the carbon credits. And as you know, in the context of trees, it's all about the bigger, the taller the trees are. That means you're able to sequester more and more of this carbon dioxide. Fourthly, you're looking at methane emissions from livestock. For those of you who have been in East Africa, I'm sure you've been hearing interesting stories about, if certain injection or feedstock is given to livestock, it will reduce the amount of methane coming from this. This is an innovation for the livestock producers looking to be climate smart and future-proof in tackling methane emission from cows. Did you know cows burp out a surprising amount of methane, making livestock one of the top contributors to farming farms with respect to greenhouse gases? For example, a study was done that was found that a typical dairy cattle in western part of Kenya is emitting up to 57 kilograms of methane per annum. Now, if you're able to introduce a feed additive, so far you've been seeing some of these additives are made from red seaweed, easily available in the coast of East and Southern Africa, and you're able to reduce this by even 50%. Imagine reducing 50% of methane from a single cattle per annum. That means it's about 50% of 54 kilograms of methane is about 27 kilograms of methane. And as you remember from your studies in carbon markets, we need to convert the methane into CO2. Then multiply that by all the number of cattle within your ecosystem. Such projects, there are about 5 of such projects. Most of them are in the UK and Australia, but here within East Africa, I know that some dairy farmers who are also looking to explore this. What does it mean for you? Not only can you reduce your farm's carbon footprint, but you may also see improvements in animal health and productivity. Plus, you're going to be able to position yourself to benefit from future carbon markets or if you like, the green initiatives. Most of you, if you've been in the business of exporting some of your products, exporting your products to, let's say, the European Union, you know right now there'll be the increase in some of the regulations for you to import. For example, there's what we call CBAM, the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, which simply says that as an exporter or an importer of products into the EU, you need to show that every production of your products is what you call carbon neutral. And one of the ways in which you can look at doing this in agricultural systems are some of the concepts that we are discussing here today. We can also talk about livestock manure management, okay? So let's just shift our gear to livestock. As agripreneurs, many of you know the challenges of managing manure. But what if that waste could become a real asset? Yeah, livestock manure management means capturing, storing, and treating animal waste to avoid methane emissions, which are powerful greenhouse gases. Instead of letting manure decompose in open pits, we can channel it into biogas systems. I'm sure most of you have heard of these things, you have seen these things, and you can go large scale, you can go small scale, medium scale. It all depends on the kind of scale you're looking for. The benefits are obvious. You get reduced methane emission, plus you produce thermal energy and electricity that can be used for cooking, lighting, or even small-scale farm machinery. As a bonus, this system also helps reduce the fall odor around your farm. Okay, so there are multiple benefits for you to consider doing the biogas plants, for example. The impacts are also numerous. When widely adopted, these solutions can boost your rural electrification, clean cooking, access stress, opening your business to new income streams, for example. Yeah, reducing fuel dependency, creating healthier farm environments. I know you have seen these projects, and it's just an opportunity for you to consider. If you're not in the livestock sector, but you're in a community where many people are in the livestock sector, and you're thinking of the next business opportunity, there you have it. Biogas digesters. Let's also go to the sixth one, which is now the regenerative agriculture. You know, it's simply about improving the land, the land that is literally giving you your livelihood. You're improving the land the longer you use it, regenerating the soil as you keep on using it. This approach integrates sustainable land management, like reducing tillage, crop rotations, cover cropping. You know, all these are concepts that most of you have been practicing. Yes, if you reduce tillage, you're preventing the manner in which you're always going to be exposing your humans to the strong sunlight. Crop rotation, you're allowing your soil to be able to start regenerating itself from having ones that are intensive in taking out the soil minerals, and then the next season you're planting something else that is less intensive. Okay, you are building resilience to the climate shocks, and of course you're able to increase the yields over time. The benefits are obvious. You're talking about that the fact that regenerative practices are able to cut emissions, you're able to improve soil structure and fertility, and often reduce reliance on synthetic fertilizers and chemicals. You all know by now that over time, the more synthetic fertilizer you're using, it has a long-term negative impact of your soil. So don't just think of the short term, think of the long-term impact of your soil, because the land is yours. Maybe it's a generational wealth from your family. Okay, the land is yours, so you need to take care of these soils. The impact of such kinds of regenerative agricultural practices are that it can transform your entire farming communities, making food systems more resilient, improving farmer incomes, and of course, creating potentially new carbon market opportunities. If you go to the website for Verra or even the Gold Standard, you'll see the numerous projects done by smallholder farmers. You can never be too small. And even if you're too small, you can always come together and aggregate and have one huge project that has been aggregated across hundreds, if not thousands of farmers. Okay. And these are concepts that are out there. These are concepts that are being practiced. Last but not least, and I'm sure this is definitely things that some of you have been considering doing. I know some of you might not like the vermins, the flies and the worms, but let's just take a moment and look at this exciting circular solution using black soldier fly, or if you like, BSF larvae, to convert organic waste into valuable products. Instead of letting food scraps or farm byproducts rot or end up in a landfill, BSF larvae can rapidly break them down, turning that waste into high protein animal feed and a nutrient-rich fertilizer called frass. Yes, if you ever look at the soil and you wonder why are some soils too brown and why some soil a bit dark, like black cotton soil, the reason is very simple. The darker the soil is, in most cases, you'll find because it has a lot of humus, and in most cases coming from an organic fertilizer, and one of the sources is something like the frass coming from the BSF. The benefits of BSF are immediate. You are reducing farm waste, producing alternative animal feed for poultry or even fish, and creating a rich organic fertilizer. Just think of it, making money from waste. Okay, this helps cut your reliance on costly conventional animal feeds and closes the loop on waste. What's even more innovative is the synergy with biochar. As you know, the biochar, when it's being generated, if you remember when you're talking about doing pyrolysis, burning of the crop, taking crop residues through pyrolysis, the end result usually is the raw biochar. But with the frass coming from the BSF, you can use to inoculate your biochar before applying it to the soil. And what this does is that it boosts soil's microbiology and fertility even further. The biochar traps the carbon, but mixing it with the frass, it allows you to further enhance the quality of that biochar when it's used as a soil amender. This combination supports plant growth, improves soil health, and increases the effectiveness of biochar as a climate-smart amendment. It's a win-win, helping your farm, your income, and the environment, whilst doing all this from the waste that is still coming from the same farm that you are dealing with. Again, the principles of a circular economy. Nothing should ever go to waste in a farm. If you're a serious farmer, nothing should ever go to waste in a farm. Ultimately, the BSF bioconversion is a fantastic example of a circular economy principles in action that is allowing you to transform farm waste into valuable, marketable products while advancing your farm's climate resilience and sustainability. I know there are a number of questions and comments coming in the chat box. I will attend to them once I'm done the presentation. Please be a bit patient and be able to respond to the questions. I just want now to quickly now go over some of the carbon market dynamics, where I'll give you some of the examples of the carbon projects from the 7 opportunities I've shown you, and also give you more insights in terms of how can you develop your carbon project. But because I know you've already gone through this in previous modules, I will not take too much time. Think of it like just more or less like a recap, okay? So let's connect the dots between what we're doing in climate smart agriculture and how we can unlock new sources of finance and opportunity through carbon markets. What you see here on your screen is the life cycle of a typical climate project. And yes, CSA projects can absolutely follow this pathway to generate verified carbon credits. For example, if you're adopting practices like agroforestry, butcher production, rotational grazing, or even improved manure management, you are not only improving your yields and resilience, you are also reducing greenhouse gas emissions or increasing the capacity for doing carbon sequestration. And as you can remember, the basic principle of carbon markets is developing a mitigation activity that is avoiding, reducing, or removing greenhouse gases. All the 7 opportunities, if you really think about it, you'll realize they are actually, in actual fact, reducing greenhouse gases. Okay, so I'll quickly go over this schedule, this cycle, but of course, as I mentioned, this presentation will be left with patients and the team, and they'll be able to share the same with you in your BRESS platform. The first step, like in any project, is your feasibility assessment. First, assess if your CSA project has measurable climate benefits, like capturing more carbon in the soil or the trees, or cutting down methane from livestock, or avoiding methane generation from the decomposition of agricultural or kitchen wastes. That's the first thing. Secondly, is the project design and financing. Design the project in detail. How much carbon can you remove or avoid, and what technology or practices will you use? This is also when you think about the funding sources. For example, grant financing to undertake your project. Remember, you can easily do a carbon project, but at the end of the day, scale is what really matters. The third stage is preparation of the PDD, the project design documents, which essentially lays out your expected emissions reduction and your project plan. And of course, as you know by now, that PDD must be developed using a specific carbon methodology from one of the notable carbon standards, whether it's Verra or the gold standard. You take the methodology based on your mitigation activity and design your project design, or rather the PDD. Once that is done, you move to stage number 4. The project must be validated by an independent auditor. In this case, you're looking at the auditor coming to your site, whether you're in Ghana, Malawi, the Congo, Kenya, Morocco. They come to your site. They assess whether or not your project design is in line with the respective carbon methodology that you have selected. If everything is okay, you're also required to do what you call the local stakeholder consultation. Yes, we know the land is yours. We know it's a private business, but your business, your mitigation activity might have an impact, positive or otherwise, to the people you're serving with. So you need to just have a public participation setting and invite them and talk about your project. If everything is in order, your project is going to be registered by either one of the many standards. Once your project is registered, you start the implementation. For example, you said you're going to be putting shade trees for your coffee farm. You said you're going to be avoiding methane emissions from decomposition using the black soldier fly. Start your implementation. And remember, as you implement, you must collect data and monitor results, often using a number of digital tools, farm records, sensors, and I'm sure there are things you've been able to, by now you've been exposed to. Then, after let's say 12 months, you want to see how many carbon credits have been generated and how many might be given. So you then do your reports, get an auditor to come and verify that indeed you implemented the project as per the regulation, you implemented the project and it kept stored accurate data. If everything is found to be okay, the registry in step number 8 there is going to issue you the carbon credits. When they issue the carbon credits, you get the buyers. Most of these buyers are coming from the global north. Yes, and there are ways in which you can easily sell them. You can advertise, you can reach out to companies directly, and of course, they'll be able to have an engagement with you, and they'll end up paying the price for the price for your credits. Now, you will notice there's an arrow moving from number 8 to number 6. The reason is this. There's a component we call crediting period. Crediting period is the duration within which you're allowed to get your carbon credits. For most agricultural projects, the crediting period will be about 7 years or 10 years, renewable twice. That means after the first year or after 2 years, you have moved from number 6 to number 8, you are still left with 5 years out of the 7. So you move from number 8 again back to number 6. You keep on generating credits, get them verified until you exhaust your crediting period. If you really take a step back and think about what is the unique value proposition for you as an agripreneur, you'll notice that every smart and climate-friendly practice you adopt can be turned into a potential revenue stream, not only from the products you're selling, but also through the carbon market, especially where they scale. It's more than just farming, it's about positioning your agribusiness at the center of the global climate solution, attracting new finance and building resilience for your community. The better you are able to track, measure, and report your climate impact, the greater your chances of success within the carbon markets. That said, I want us to look at some of the examples. And actually, my friends, if you look at the name of the project title there, type them on Google, you'll actually see these projects. They're in existence, whether it's in Tanzania or South Africa, and these companies, these individuals are actually getting carbon credits. Let's bring carbon market concept down to earth with some real-world examples here. On the left, you'll see we have a Verra certified black soldier fly commercial farming project in Tanzania. BSF, imagine. This project is turning food waste into gold using BSF Live to convert the organic scraps into high protein animal feed and also organic fertilizer. 3 products here. 1, animal feed. 2, organic fertilizer. And 3, carbon credits. Coming from what? From waste. Where is the waste coming from? From the same farm that you're operating in or the communities around you. By diverting waste from landfills and replacing fish meal or soy feeds, it not only cuts emission, but also creates a circular business model. In the case of the project in Tanzania, it is able to generate 5,000 tons of CO2 every single year. Given that this is mostly methane, for every carbon credit, in this case, it's 5,545. For every carbon credit, most likely they'll be able to sell each credit for about $30 or $40. So let's say it's $40. Take $40 multiplied by 5,245. How much are you getting? You're getting something close to $200,000 per annum. And remember, this is from the carbon credits. You'll still be selling your fertilizer, you'll still be selling your animal feed. It's all about the value addition. Finding the interconnection between climate smart agriculture and carbon finance. On the right-hand side, we see a gold standard agroforestry project based in South Africa, where bamboo and fruit trees are grown together to restore land, boost productivity, and capture carbon for decades, 30 years. Yeah, and you can see for this particular project, because of its scale, it is able to sequester or generate up to 350,000 carbon credits per annum. Multiply that by about $30, the price will be selling your credits from. So you can see there is a business case from you to plant bamboo bamboo grass, for example, around the riparian lands, for example, or even fruit trees. And the beauty of doing reforestation projects with fruit trees is even before the carbon credits are issued and commercialized, you are busy selling your fruits. win-win. The key takeaway for you is very simple. There's room in the carbon market for innovative ideas, whether it's using insects to solve food waste or transforming landscape with trees. Carbon credits don't just reward environmental impact, they can fund your next business leap. If you can spot the opportunities and connect the right carbon methodology, your agribusiness can join this movement, unlock new revenue, and drive sustainability across Africa. As I wind up with my presentation, there are quite a number of carbon project types, whether it's in the forestry sector, renewable energy, household projects like cookstoves. Yeah, there are over 170 different kinds of things you can do. Okay, it just comes down to what have you been able to identify as your niche? What is your strong spot? What do you want to focus on? All these projects types not only generate carbon credits, but also deliver on farm benefits, better soils, higher productivity, resilience to droughts, and even new income streams. The big opportunity is to link your everyday climate smart practices such as tree planting, smart grazing, manure management to global carbon markets and turn your sustainability into financial returns. So if you're already involved with these kind of activities, you're on the right track to assessing or to be accessing carbon finance. Of course, there are other nitty-gritties I'm sure you covered, but you are on the right path. And if you're too small, but you know others in this program that are your neighbors, okay, in the region of the country, you can always come together and aggregate. If you haven't started yet, this is your invitation to think bigger, not just for your farm, but for your community's role in climate solution. The scale of carbon projects is huge. The chart there shows you the price variation across different kinds of projects based on a report that came out sometime last year. Remember, scale is important. Having the innovation is also important. That said, allow me to stop there and pause for some questions and quick remarks. Otherwise, I'll throw it back to Patience to guide the Q&A section. Otherwise, please, guys, think big. There's a lot of opportunity. There's no time to be lazy. There's only time to be innovative. Over to you, Patience.
Right, thank you so much, Charles. Thank you so much. This is really informative. So many answers already raised. I know there are going to be answers raised eventually. And please, as we go into the Q&A session, drop a very tangible or any key takeaway you took from chat session and all of that. For me, it's really informative, and to know that there are 170 carbon projects available. It means everyone has a space in the carbon projects. Like everybody will just be able to take their place and all of that. So this is an opportunity that we have now, that we have Charles talking to us about this and all that. Let us all find our place in the carbon market, in this carbon project and all of that, you know. So a lot of information have gone, and I sure know that there will be questions. I know there are going to be lots of questions. So so I'll quickly ask people raising their hand to, you know, unmute and speak, and then I'll check through the comment section as well to see if there are questions there and then read them out. Mrs. Simbogile, please go ahead.
Greetings, my sister Patience. Thank you, and a special thank you to my brother Charles. You've touched my heart, because we've just embarked on a project where we want to do 1 million moringa trees in 2025 in the provinces. We've got 9 provinces here in South Africa, so we're doing them provincially, where we sharing moringa seeds and getting people to plant moringa seeds. Then you mentioned Mpumalanga. In Mpumalanga, we're looking at setting up a fruit tree project for citrus. So I wanted to check if you've got companies that can work with us on the carbon side, so that we partner with them, because I believe in collaboration in the times that we are in, that we need to collaborate and as a continent. Thank you very much, and stay blessed.
Patience, do I answer after each question or?
So how do you want us to do it? Do you want to answer them or you want to take all the questions at once and then?
Let me just answer one after another in case somebody else has a similar question. So yes, indeed, we as Vascarbon are able to support companies in doing the carbon projects. And in most cases, you'll find that depending on the scale of a business, one may not have adequate finance to do the certification process. So we as Vascarbon are able to cover those costs and find ways in which once the carbon credits are coming out, we can recover our costs. So yes, we can support you in scoping it out. How we often do it is you do an email just briefly explaining your project scale, size, and then we have a discovery call to tell you some of the different options or pathways to success. You mentioned 1 million trees. That means it's a significant amount of land size, which is good, and also for the food trees as well, because what it simply means is that you'll not only be able to be getting your carbon credits in due time, but also in the interim, you'll be able to be harvesting the fruit trees and of course selling this. One of the projects we are working with an association of farmers in Zimbabwe is something similar in the case of fruit trees, whereby we're talking about soil organic carbon is one of the opportunities, and also the reforestation where people are looking at shade trees. It's an interesting opportunity that will definitely be happy to partner with you on that. From my presentation, you can get the contact details and we can just have a discovery call, just see some of the opportunities that we can collaborate. But yes, that's a very interesting project. And one of the key things is that if you intend to start the project in 2025, then within 3 years of starting, the project must be registered. The reason why there's a time limit is this. Carbon credits is all about carbon finance, and there's a question of what you call additionality. Does your project require carbon finance to scale? If the answer is yes, then you're additional. But if the answer is no, to mean that your project will still be able to function with carbon finance, then your project will not be registered. So as you are putting together your program design, it's very important that within 3 years of you starting, you're able to actually make sure you're going through the usual carbon certification process. You must make sure that as you're designing the project, you're talking to your community as well to make sure you've got their buy-in. The local stakeholder consultation is an absolutely important process in doing a carbon project. So I hope you have got some of those things in mind, as well as you're going through the phase of the idea note or the program design. Thank you. Next.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Charles. So the next person is Moshood Mejibedu. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Mr. Charles, I'm very, very delighted in fact, you've taken our hand to cross the road. Let me use that word. Please, I want a clarification. Recently in Lagos, Nigeria, we have high deficits of banana and plantain, and it's affecting the women and youth empowerment are not engaged because of climate change activities and the insecurity we are having. Because of this, I took the bull by its own. I'm creating what we call Banana Village Project. This is a 1,000 acres banana or plantain project that will be segregated through different, states in the western part of Nigeria. So now my activity is that we'll be planting plantain and banana while rearing chicken to produce the manure, and we'll be rearing fish as well to use the water for irrigation to irrigate this crop so that throughout the year we'll be having production. Now, this project of mine, how does it go align with carbon credits we have been talking about? Thank you very much. And how is VAS, how can VAS come into this project and work with us? We'll be very, very happy to have a partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. So from the description of your project, I will say this. because you cannot consider a banana plant like a tree. So instead of focusing on doing the carbon mitigation from the banana plantation, we look at the soil. I'm sure there's something you're doing to improve the soil health, or what you call the soil organic carbon. And because you're also looking at 1,000 acres, it's a good size of a project. Okay, so we focus on doing a study to see in this particular location what was the amount of soil organic carbon in the soil now. And then you're starting to do the things like now adding the organic manure and whatnot. We then do a study analysis, a soil analysis, mostly to be a lab analysis to see what have you been able to improve in terms of soil organic carbon from what you're doing. Of course, there's a banana the banana plantation as well. So the focus here will be on soil organic carbon. There'll be a lot of lab analysis for the soil. What you need to be doing as the project developer is to make sure that you are starting to document the status of the land in which you are in. And if you're able to do a lab analysis that speaks to the soil organic carbon, it's also going to be very important. The logic is this: if your soil organic carbon content was this much, and then you start doing the organic fertilizer, you're reducing tilling and whatnot, you're increasing the soil carbon per acre by this amount. The difference between the soil carbon after intervention and what was in the baseline is more or less your carbon credits. So again, like I mentioned to the previous lady, that we're able to provide this advisory. My ask for you will be to reach out via email, give as much details as you can disclose, and then we'll have a discovery call. We give you the nitty-gritty of how we can design the project. And of course, we usually don't charge this because it's just a discovery call. We're just exchanging ideas, okay? But it is indeed very much possible. The only difference being we shall be focusing on the soil carbon and not the sequestration from the banana plantation. I hope that is clear. And I'm also seeing somebody else is also mentioning that you can plant economic trees for afforestation. Can you qualify for carbon credits? Yes, the simple answer is yes. Where it becomes a challenge is where you're planting trees for the timber business. That becomes a problem because we call it a leakage. You have planted trees, then after, let's say, 10 years, you are chopping them down. No, because whatever you're able to sequester, you have not chopped down, so there's no longer sequestration, it becomes a leakage. Okay, so I hope that one is clear, and thanks for raising it. But please feel free to reach out via mail, and we'll be able to give you a more technical description of how exactly our thinking will be in terms of what you can go about and what you can start doing from your side even before the technical expertise. Next.
All right. Thank you so much. I was going to read the question in the comment section, but thank you for taking that. Thank you so much. So Nelson Ande, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, first of all, Mr. Charles, for this elaborate session. Okay, I'm always referring back to my grandmother's practice of farming, which I'm familiar with. I'm from a community where we use rice chaff on the field. We burn it on the field, and we didn't know that it has a name. Up to now, we don't know the name. With your explanation about biochar, I can't say it is biochar until maybe after the explanation. If you can give it a name, then I will take it. We'll burn it, and it burns slowly, but then not in a way of an enclosure like you described in your slides that biochar works. But at the end, it will give us a result like the biochar you described. So I want to know if that could be termed biochar in a sense. Because the problem here is that it is not born in an enclosure, but is spread across the farm and lightened, and then it burns slowly, covering everywhere. Then it gives us that black aspect of it after it has been burned, and it helps in retaining moisture. And then we see earthworms this time when the rain comes back, and weeds are being suppressed, managed in that order. But I can't really say it is biochar. But does it mean it is also biochar in a sense? And if that is the case, how can we take it further using
Okay.
rice chaff, common thing we have in the locality. It's from the rice mill we get this rice chaff. After the rice has been milled, we get it and then we distribute it across our farm and get it burned. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So the first thing I'll mention is this, that rice husks, that chaff coming from the milling of rice, is one of the best type of biomass feedstock for biochar. And this is why. Remember how biochar generation works is you have got crop residue that if left in the environment, somebody will let burn them, emitting the CO2, or if it's decomposed, it's going to emit the methane. But remember, the rice husk is woody. And it's woody because when the rice was growing, it was absorbing CO2 and then it was being used to make now the shells and the whatnot. Biochar is all about burning that component, the rice husks, and leaving the carbon only inside it. And there are various ways. You have mentioned to me the way you do it, there's no enclosure. So what you're looking at, what you call artisanal biochar production technologies. The simplest one is what you're calling earth mounds. Yeah, earth mound. Simply the way you make charcoal, but in this case, it's going to be biochar. It's a technique you have to have a bit of training in it. You're simply digging holes into the ground, putting the waste, doing some bit of covering, and burning it in a low oxygen environment, making sure not to burn all the way to becoming ash. I'll give the example of the first biochar project registered by Vera. It's in India, where 5,000 smallholder farmers were doing exactly what I'm telling you is an option. You're digging holes, what you call in earth mounds, putting the waste, covering it with the soil, and then burning it at a low oxygen temperature. The other option is investing in what you call retort kilns. Let me just type it there, retort. So you've said the first one is called earth mounds. I'm just typing the techniques. You can also feel free to read more about it or reach out to earth mounds or retort kilns. Okay, those are cheap, affordable ways in which you can convert rice husks into the biochar. Okay, but remember, the raw biochar does not have any nutrients. So you need to either charge it or what you call inoculate it. So you'll also be having to take some bit of organic fertilizer and mixing it together and then putting it in the soil. Okay, so I've just typed it there. I've just typed in the chat, earth mound retort kilns. I'm also going to type the project in India. If you want to read more about Project Ignite in India, Vera. Feel free to just Google exactly some typing it, and then you can see how it's possible. So again, charcoal, please don't confuse charcoal for biochar. These are not the same things, okay? Charcoal still has quite a bit of carbon, and when you burn biochar to become charcoal, it still becomes biochar. Although, of course, it looks like charcoal, but it's not charcoal, okay? So feel free to really do a bit of reading on this. You can do an email, you can send you quite a number of resources, but I assure you, I can assure you that you can do what you call artisanal ways of producing biochar using earth mounds and also and retort kilns. Remember, briquettes charcoal cannot be biochar, because if briquettes and charcoal are used to generate energy for cooking or whatnot, it starts to become what you call biochar. Biochar must be locked in the soil. It cannot be burnt to produce energy. Okay? Although, again, I reiterate, biochar looks very similar in physical properties to charcoal, but they're not the same thing. Okay? Just take note of that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Charles. So there was a question that was asked earlier. The person asked, how commercializable is biochar as a bagged fertilizer? That was the question that was asked earlier in the comment section.
Okay. Actually, I will give an example of one of the projects we are supporting here in Kenya. The project is called Pure Plant Organics. I'm going to type the name of the company for you to go and see what they're doing. So Pure Plant Organics. Yeah. I've typed it, the Pure Plant Organics. So what they actually do is they make voucher from rice husks. Okay, they make voucher from rice husks, and you'll realize from the studies you'll see that for every, let's say, 1 ton of waste, it can give you about 25% voucher. So if you take 1 ton of rice husk, you take it through pyrolysis, you'll get about 0.25 tons of voucher, and that has stored about 0.25 tons of voucher. Will be able to store about 0.5 tons of CO2e, that is 0.5 carbon credits. Now, how they commercialize it is as follows. When they have been able to generate the raw voucher, they mix it with vermicompost. I hope most of you are familiar with vermicompost, the kind of organic manure. They mix it together, they churn it together, and then when they were doing their market study, they realized that many farmers in the area they're operating in Kenya are so much into synthetic fertilizer. In fact, if you give them a fertilizer that's not granulated, the small granulated pellets, they don't buy. So what they then do is they take the raw voucher, they inoculate it with organic manure, churn it around, and then they granulate it and they sell it. For a bag of 50 kilograms of that soil enhanced, that soil enhancer, the voucher that has been enhanced, for every 50 kilogram bag, they're able to sell it at $17 per bag. $17 per bag. Yes, they're selling it to farmers. They're selling it even to golf clubs for the lawns, because it does very good work in terms of being a soil enhancer. So it's a very, very good business if you're looking to going further into to organic fertilizer business. Okay, I hope that is clear. Yes, sawdust can also be used. Look, any kind of farm waste that is woody is applicable. Sawdust is applicable, crop residue, the maize combs, coffee husks, rice husks. We even have got this invasive species, it's called Prosopis. Yeah, Prosopis as well. It's also applicable. Literally any farm waste, corn cob as well, any farm waste, farm residue after harvesting that is woody is a potential biomass feedstock. Sugarcane bagasse, biomass feedstock as well. Next.
All right, thank you so much. The next person here is Chukwubuikem Obia. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name well, but please unmute and speak.
All right, that's okay. Good evening, everyone. I want to borrow your words, Patience, to say thank you so much to you, Mr. Charles. Well, I do not have a question per se. I just have a comment to make, based on all we've learned today. I think for me, my takeaway from all that has been said today is to really appreciate the fact that in agriculture, nothing is totally a waste. I think this is my take home today. In the words of Mr. Charles, he says, making money from waste, just think of it. I just captured this very statement. And I think it's something that has been running through my mind. So I think everybody should really think about this. Nothing is actually a waste when it comes to agriculture. So thank you so very much. And I'm happy to always be part of this. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Nothing should ever go to waste in agriculture. Yeah, thank you so much. Mustafa Akim Ponde, please go ahead. Hi, Mustafa. Okay, yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Can you? I'm good. Honestly, from the starting of this project or this organization, we have been going through a lot of trainings, but really, whatever training we have been going through, it is more far different than this one. This one is very much beneficial to we as business people, and also to we as entrepreneurs doing an agriculture. But I want to understand something, because as we all know, agriculture is very much capital intensive and also the labor demanding. So if we have an agricultural project in Sierra Leone here, we have a very large fertile land for us to cultivate all sorts of varieties. But it is very much hard for us to be connected to investors and also for people that can help in agriculture. We can't continue to do the agricultural work manually. We need some modern machines so that we can be able to produce more food to feed our nation. What I'm trying to say here, we really need help as an entrepreneur so we can able to take care of our businesses and to boost the food security in the country. According to this program, I think this is a financial platform we are discussing right now. We have the ideas, we have the knowledge to invest in agriculture, but we have limited capital resource for us to support our business. So if you guys have arranged this thing for us to grow in our business, that's a good idea. And we have, my concern here is that I want to understand how many people are going to be beneficiaries to this program and how you guys are going to do the M&E inventory. I rest my case for now.
I think this question is more to us than it is to Charles. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. So we'll come back to your question, Mustafa, so that we don't take so much time from Charles. Is able to answer other people's questions. But please, after this speaker's presentation, we'll come back and address the M&E concerns and all of that concerns that you have as well. Sifelele Farela, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Afternoon, ma'am, and thank you so much for being on the program. And then what I would like to know from Mr. Charles, is Sifelele Farela from South Africa. I'm doing beekeeping, and then we're planting a lot of as well as fruit trees. So I just want to know how can we integrate what we've been doing on side of beekeeping as we planting trees and also try to benefit on this carbon farming thing, because we're already doing it as we're just creating the habitat for our bees, not knowing that there is this opportunity in carbon farming, because we've got a program now we want to start where we'll say each household should have 4 or 5 of fruit trees, so that when those fruit trees they flower up, we know they're gonna for our bees also. So now how to integrate all that program and also benefit from carbon farming. Thank you.
You're doing a program with households where each household is growing 5 or so fruit trees, and they're looking at how can this come into the carbon market. So remember I mentioned the example of some of the agroforestry projects we are doing in Northern Uganda, whereby you have got smallholder farmers or even households that don't have like thousands of hectares. They have something less than 1 acre. So in this kind of a project, if you want it to make sense from a carbon market perspective, you have to aggregate thousands of farmers. Ideally, the minimum land size for you to do a nature-based project from a carbon market that will be making economic sense will be about 1,000 hectares. So of course, you know, it's not easy to find 1 person or 2 people with that kind of land. So you have to aggregate farmers or smallholder farmers or even households that are able to do this mitigation activity up to that scale. And what must happen is that for each household that's part of the contribution, like the one we're doing in Ghana is about 2,500 farmers. For each farmer, we must be able to geolocate them and draw the GIS box plots on a map within the region. So as it becomes very easy for one to know whether or not they're in existence and where exactly are they operating in. Okay, so it is possible, but then in your case, you have to make sure you're aggregating several hundred people for the project to make economic sense, because you can't do a project with just, let's say, 10 trees. No, it has to be at scale. Why I say it has to be at scale is because even for you to register the project, the carbon certification fees, cumulatively from opening the account all the way until having the auditor, it can take you $20,000–$30,000, for example. So you have to make sure that your project is of good enough scale to be able to at least cover those fees. And where there's not enough scale from one activity, you aggregate. So I hope I've been able to give some indication of how you can go about it. But the key thing will be get as many people, households, smallholder farmers, to do the fruit business, the fruit tree farming, because you need that scale for it to make economic sense, socioeconomic sense, to make business sense for the carbon market opportunity. Scale is always going to be an important thing. Yeah. I hope I've responded to you, Siphelele. If not, you can also just retype your question. I'll try and also make sure I can answer in the chat box.
All right, thank you so much, Charles. Thank you so much for all of the values that you have delivered to us today. Thank you so much. And everyone, let's say thank you to Charles in the comment section. Thank you so much. And before you go, Charles, you know, the way we always do it, we'll always take pictures with you in case we catch you somewhere in Kenya. All right, so please, this is the time where we take pictures with our facilitator for today. So please, if your video is not yet on, please put on your videos and put on some very beautiful smiles. Let's take pictures with Charles. You never can tell where you're going to meet him. This is an evidence. So you can screenshot your copy as well, so that when you see Charles, you tell Charles that, oh yeah, we're in the same room where you taught us carbon markets. And so thank you so very much, everyone, for putting on your videos. Thank you for putting on some very beautiful smiles. I can see a lot of very beautiful smiles in the room. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sure my team members have taken the pictures. Thank you, everybody, for putting on your videos. And yes, thank you so much, Charles. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all of the insights that you've given us today. We appreciate this so much. And yes, I can see participants in the comment section saying thank you, thank you, thank you, Charles. Thank you. For every time we call on you, you're always here to deliver your best. And this is really, really very beautiful. We appreciate it so much. And then yes, till we see you again, do have a good evening, sir. So for everyone, yes, you know what's going to be announcing our top scholars for week 4. So if you know that you are not a top scholar yet, this is the time to watch out and celebrate the top scholars for week 4, because we still have week 5 and week 6 top scholars. But before we unveil our top scholars, we'll put on the poll for you to be able to access the session for today. Let us know what you think about the session. So if you see the poll at your end, please try and fill it for us so that we understand where to improve and what other things to do. So please, the poll is up now. If you can see it, try to fill the poll. I just want to be sure that you are seeing the poll. So the only way for me to be sure is that you fill it, and then I'll be sure that you can see it on your screen. So please go ahead. Oh yes, thank you. Someone is already filling it. It means that you can see it. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for filling the poll. I'll just leave the poll on the screen for a while so that you go ahead and fill it. But while we do that, I'll quickly take some time to answer Mustafa Ponde. He asked some questions around how we are doing M&E for the BRACE program, and then he also asked about finances, right? So if there are more questions, please, Mustafa, raise your hand and I'll allow you express yourself again. But I know that you talked about the M&E and then you also talk about finances. So for the finances, at African Food Changemakers, we don't directly give finance, we don't directly give money, but then we connect our members to opportunities, to funding opportunities and all of that. And I said members because we don't do it particularly for participants. You have to be a member of the African Food Changemakers before you are able to, enjoy some of these other benefits, opportunities that we share with our people. So please, if you're not a member of African Food Changemakers yet, register to become a member, because that is the other way that you can benefit from funding opportunities, because we try to source for funding opportunities from different organizations and different networks, and then we send those opportunities to our members for our members to be able to apply for them. And I tell you that so many people have actually gotten grants, gotten finances and all of that through this opportunity that we share. Then for the M&E, we have the M&E structure for BRACE. So starting with the pre-diagnostic and post-diagnostic. I'm sure that when you started the course, when you log into the portal, the first thing you saw before you're even able to get to module 1 was to complete the pre-diagnostic tool. And for those of you that have downloaded your certificate, you also know that before you download your certificate, you're supposed to be you are supposed to complete the post-diagnostic tool. So you need to complete the pre-diagnostic tool and then the post-diagnostic tool for you to be able to, complete the BRACE program. Then afterwards, we have the self-reporting tool, and then we have the survey tool. This is specifically for our alumni. You have not seen this yet because you have not completed the BRACE program yet and all of that. So for people that have completed the program before now, that have completed it last year and then in 2023, they have actually started filling the survey to another. And then before you fill the survey to another, what we do is to give like a training to help you understand how best you can fill the survey tool, and as well as the self-reporting tool. So the reason why you have not experienced that is because you are not yet an alumni, you've not graduated from the BRACE program yet. So after you have graduated and then we have moved you to the alumni platform, we'll actually do another training where we'll be able to help you understand how to handle the M&E tool, that is the self-reporting tool, and then the survey tool. Thank you so much. So Mustafa, if I still didn't answer your question, please go ahead and let me know. Oh, Kachi, please. Kachi is the manager at African Food Changemakers. I'm sure she wants to what I have said. Thank you so much, Kachi. So please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Patience. And I also thank our participant that is raising that very important question. One of the things that we've agreed to do is to the 7th week, after we are done with the technical sessions, to use the 7th week to train you on the M&E tools, so that when you are faced with that tool, you know exactly what to do. So that's one initiative that we are introducing from this cohort going forward. All right. Thank you very much. Back to you, Patience.
Yes, thank you so much, Kachi. Thank you so much for, doing that. I completely forgot. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So for the poll, there are still people that have not filled the poll yet. Please, if you have not filled the polls, please go ahead and fill the poll. It's not moving yet. I just wanted to be sure that everybody has filled it. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I have a lot of you that have filled the poll, but I still have so many of you that have not filled the poll yet. So thank you. I'll just leave it to run, and then I'll try to share my screen again if it will let me share my screen. So for the top scholars for the week, I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so I don't know whether to roll drums or something to announce the top scholars for week 4. Okay, so the top scholars for this week, congratulations to all of you that made it to top scholar. And the thing is, as the weeks roll by, the number of top scholars are reducing another, because most of you did not come for the live interactive session. You are not able to come out as top scholars and all that. I hope to see many people come out as top scholars for week 5. So this week, congratulations to everyone that have come out a top scholar, and it goes beyond just the assessment in the portal. You have to also attend the Braze Life Interactive session and stay till a long while, because most of you just jump into the session and then after like 2 minutes you go out and say, oh yes, I have my attendance taken already. I know. All right, so but you have to be able to stay a while for the Braze Life Interactive session for you to be able to make it to top scholar for the week. So this week we have Oluwaseun Oyekola from Nigeria. We have Elak Dayton from Malawi, Gloria John, Nigeria, Isa Ezekiel Oricha from Nigeria, Tumelo Twagang, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this well. She's from South Africa, Esther Nakoto from Nigeria, Misozi Mwale from Malawi, Fatima Zubeiru Lere from Nigeria, Ishola Shegun from Nigeria, Evelyn B. Kaliwo from Malawi, Eda Celebatso from Botswana. Congratulations to all of you. It's really nice that we have lots of Malawians as top scholars this week. Congratulations to everybody. Let's say congratulations to them in the comment section. Let's give them some clap, and you know, you never can tell, you might just be the next top scholar. We still have week 5 and week 6 to go. Congratulations to all our top scholars for the week, and thank you so much. The poll is still on the screen. Please, if you are seeing it, go ahead and fill it, and it's really important that we get to know what you think about the session for today, so that we're able to make our sessions better and more interesting for you. Thank you very much. So quickly, we'll go through the portal walkthrough. But for the portal walkthrough today, what I want us to do is to, if you have an issue with the portal, maybe with your certificate download or something, that we are able to, address issues that specific issues rather than do a general portal walkthrough. So if you have any issue you want us to go through, you want us to quickly address on this call, please raise your hand, and then I'll quickly ask you to unmute and speak, and we'll be able to quickly address the issues. So please, I'm trying to check if I'm seeing any hand raised. I'll call you to unmute and speak. So there is no hand raised yet. Okay, or you could even drop it in the comments section. Oh, Gifty's iPhone. Gifty's iPhone. I hope you change your name. Thank you so much. All right, Gift, please go ahead.
Hi, good evening,
Hi.
everybody.
Good evening.
So this is Gifty Manye from Ghana. And so last week I was on the farm, so I couldn't get good network to join. But today I'm glad I made it, even though I was driving from the farm when it started. So about the top scorer, what is the mark that you guys are using to select the top scorer? And I heard you mentioning that joining the live session is part and all that. I missed last week's last session, but I've been through since it all started. So that's number one. Number two, about the downloading of the certificate. I thought you were going to send it to us, or we are supposed to go online and download it all by ourselves? And are we supposed to use the old password that we used when we're going through the course, or what exactly are we supposed to do? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Gift. So for the top scholars, we have always mentioned this, but then I'll explain again. So for the top scholars, we have the first 20 people that have the highest scores. And then we go back to the live interactive session and check if those people actually attended the live interactive session, and then the duration of live interactive session. Most times we have ties. So for in a case where we have a tie, maybe in fact not most times, every time we have ties in the portal, most people score 100, like 20 people, everybody scored 100 and all of that. So what we now do in case like that is to go to the live interactive session and use the number of hours or minutes that you attended to be able to score you and all that. So if we both scored 100, me and Gifty scored 100, we'll now use the live interactive session to check if for the live interactive session, I stayed for 60 minutes and then Gifty stayed for 20 minutes. I automatically become the top scholar because I stayed longer during the live interactive session. So that's actually how we do it. There are some people that we score 100 in the portal and they will not even attend the live interactive session at all. So that does not count as top scholar. So you will see your name as a top scholar. And again, top scholars in the portal, if you check through your portal, you see where the top scholar button is. And if you click there, you see all the people that came top scholars for the week in the portal. If you check there, you see it there. It's always there every week. And the system automatically loads people based on their scores in that place. So it is not even us that does all of that. So the only thing we now do is to now bring all of those top scholars that the system has provided and then compare and then use the live interactive session attendance to be able to, get who the right top scholar is that will eventually now announce. So for the certificate download, you have to download your certificate by yourself in the portal. So when you log into the portal, after you're done the 6th week, you click on the assessment history page. So in that assessment history page, you see the complete post-diagnostic tool. So when you click on post-diagnostic tool, you'll be able to complete all of the questions, just like the way you completed that of pre-diagnostic tool. So after completing the question, you see the certificate in the portal for you to download. So you download your certificate by yourself in the portal. We don't do that for you. We don't send it to you. I hope you understand that now. But if there's still any other question, please, I'm glad to answer it. Thank you so much. Is there any other hand raised? I'm not sure I can see any other hand. Thank you so much, everyone, for filling the poll. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this. So we'll just take the poll down as a number of persons have. Okay, Bem Asen, please go ahead. I'm asking you to omit and go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Patience, for all that you do. So my question, I just put it on the platform now. I was going to ask, how long do we have access to the course materials, that's videos, and in fact, the platform essentially after the program? How long do we have access to that information? Thank you.
Oh, that's actually a very important question because some people just think that it's going to be there forever. So the portal is not always there forever because we have other cohorts and other batches. Just like you, there are batches and cohorts before you that actually use the same portal, and so it's not always there. Once we onboard a new batch, we actually try to, restrict it for the older batch so that the new people will also enjoy the portal. So after the 6th week of the live interactive session, we'll try to give additional 1 month, additional 4 weeks for participants to, that still have 1 or 2 things to learn, that still want to refresh their memories or do anything in the portal. We try to leave it open for another 1 month for participants to go through it and they take note as much as they would like to do in the portal, because if you see the portal, not the modules, the videos, the original videos cannot be downloaded. Only tuner reading materials can be downloaded, which we have actually also sent to the WhatsApp group. So please, the portal is not always there. After like 1 month or thereabouts, we try to close it so that other people can access it. Thank you so much for that question. Do we have other questions? Okay, so I'm not seeing any other hand. It means there are no other questions. So application for the next batch of the BRIS program is ongoing, and then we just want to announce it here in case you have people in your network, you have people that you know would really benefit from the BRIS program and all that. You can share it with them. We've also tried to share the flyers in the group so that you can share it with people that you know would benefit from the BRIS program. So please, the application is ongoing now, and it will be closing on the 27th of July. That's later this month. So if you have people that you think would benefit from the BRIS program, please go ahead and share with them so that they will also enjoy what you have enjoyed over time. Musa, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this wonderful program you've just, or training you've taken us through. So for the BRIS program, BRIS, is it BRIS? Like, I'm not really sure. So please, like, what's about the program? Because this is my first time joining this meeting to say. Thank you very much. That's it.
It's your first time. Please, sorry, you might have to ask again. So you're asking what the BRIS program is about?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you're asking what the BRIS program is about, and this is your first time joining. Okay, so we started this live interactive session since 5 weeks ago. This is the week 5 of the training, and BRIS is building resilience against climate and environmental shocks for agribusinesses in Africa. So it is actually a program that builds the capacity of agri entrepreneurs in Africa. So it's actually an Africa-wide program. So what we do is to build the capacity of agripreneurs in Africa to be able to mitigate and adapt to the effects of climate change in their agribusiness, and it cuts across different value chains. So and different sectors within the within agriculture. So we have adaptation and mitigation in production, both crop production and livestock production. We have that of processing. We have that of distribution, that of logistics. We have distribution. We have other things, marketing as well. And then today, so all of these I have mentioned that the live interactive sessions that we have taken since week 1. So week 1 was just the introduction. Week 2 we did that of production, and then week 3 we did processing. Week 4 we do distribution, and then this is week 5 where we are doing opportunities in climate smart agricultural adoption. And then next week, which is the last week, we'll be doing the climate ecosystem. So it's really encompassing, and I'm sure that you saw the link on your email. That's why you were able to join today. So I've been sharing past live interactive session. We've been sharing the links via email and all that. So you can also click on those links and try to see how to catch up on some of the sessions that we have done over time. And then you can also log into the portal. The portal is still open, so you can still log into the portal and get to learn all of the things in the portal. The portal is actually very rich. I'm sure other people that have gone through the portal and that have even downloaded their certificate will be able to testify that there are lots of materials in the portal that you can actually enjoy from. And if you have additional questions, please do well to reach out to us in that same email, via the same email that you got all of the information from. You can reach us from there, and we have always put numbers in the email. Please, if you see any of the numbers there, you can also contact us via WhatsApp or even call, and then we'll be very much happy to listen to you. So Ahmad Sani, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Hi, Ahmad.
Thank you, Keisha.
Hello.
Are you hearing me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, I'm hearing you. Okay, so my question is that you said in the election of the company, so how do you notify if you have somebody getting the network connected? I start joining, but our network is fully shut down. So when it comes back, then I will join again. So you said you are preparing with that and for the course. My second question is that in week 5 you will release the place where you have the certificate. Is it ready or we cannot access it up to now?
Sorry, your network, I can barely hear you, but I just wanted to be sure I heard the right thing. You were saying that you try to join the live interactive session, but your network does not allow you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
and you're
ma'am.
saying
Yes, ma'am.
okay, and you're saying that you will try to rejoin and all that.
Yeah. So the second question is that in week 5, you are give us the chance to download the certificate. Is it the certificate portal is ready on?
Is it the certificate that did what? I'm struggling, really struggling to hear you.
It's ready to download it in the portal or not?
Yes, the certificate is in fact, so many people have downloaded their certificate already. So when you go to the portal, the same learning portal, once you finish all of the 6 modules in that portal, you'll be able to download your certificate, but you have to complete all the 6 modules to be able to download your certificate.
Yes, yes, I finished it.
Yes, so,
okay, so
click on the assessment history page and you'll see your certificate there to download.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nelson Andy, please go ahead. Please, I have one more question, and because our time is fast spent. So, Nelson Andy, please go ahead. Nelson Andy, I'm asking you to unmute and go ahead.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this time. And okay, my question is, shortly after that, I had already almost gone through to the end of my modules. Just at that point, I think I got to see an email where I was supposed to provide my picture and then resubmit document. And so that means I came behind schedule because I got an email shortly after submitting and had already gone through to I think the 3rd module. As I was given an email that I've been onboarded for the 3rd cohort, which is coming up. So I've not gone through to check whether or not my certificate is available, but I've done all the modules and I've submitted, and I was awarded my percentage. So I want to know, I've not actually gone to download it yet. I just got to know it. I was online recently, but network happened and I had to go out and come back again. By then, you might have said every other thing that I need to have said. But I want to be sure if I can also download my certificate this time, though I'm yet to check.
Yes, you'll be able to download your certificate. If you are not able to download the certificate, please reach out to us via email, and then we'll try to sort that out with you. But you should be able to download your certificate. Please check.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Aaron, what? Please.
Thank you so much.
Say? Oh, you're welcome. Friday, Aaron, please go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, please.
Good evening.
Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead. I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I wanted to find out if it's possible for us to get some notes, especially the presentations, the slides. Because for now, we are going through just to get our assessment done, but would like to have it, I think, in future, just so that at least when we are on now in our field or at our businesses premises, would like to go back at our notes and then again find out what was done or what we have learned. I would like to revisit it back.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So for the presentation slides for the trainers, so for as many that shares with us, always share with you, so that you would, be able to have materials to go through. But yes, we'll share all of the materials that we have from the presentation slides that we have from the trainers. And again, this session, they are always recorded, and beyond the weeks where you have access to the portal, this one is recorded on YouTube, so you can always go on YouTube and listen to these sessions again and again and again. They are actually made public on YouTube. With the link that we send to you afterwards, you can always, whether or not you have access to the portal, you always have access to these live interactive sessions because they are there on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right,
Also,
thank you very much.
You're welcome. So for those that have not completed your courses, please try and complete your course. And if you have not joined the WhatsApp group yet, please join the WhatsApp group and then share your learnings on social media and tag us. Ensure to participate in the next live interactive session. That's even going to be the last live interactive session. I'm sure nobody wants to miss it. You all want to be part of the last live interactive session, and that day is going to be a very special day. We're actually looking at a show your certificate campaign, which we'll be doing next week Friday after the last live interactive session. So we expect that a lot of us must have completed our courses and then downloaded our certificate. Next week, we're going to be having a show your certificates campaign in our WhatsApp group. So if you are not in the WhatsApp group yet, please join the WhatsApp group with the link that we have sent to you via email. It's going to be very interesting. And then I don't want to let the cat out of the bag with so many other things that will be happening that day, but we're going to be having a show your certificate campaign in the WhatsApp group next week Friday, and it's going to be very interesting. You don't want to miss it. You really do not want to miss it. Like, it's going to be a big deal. It's really going to be a big deal. So if you're not in the WhatsApp group yet, join the WhatsApp group with all of the links that we're sending to you. And if you are not seeing the link, please, you can send us an email to say that you're not seeing the WhatsApp link, and then send us your number. We would add you to the WhatsApp group by ourselves. So thank you so much. If you have any issue, you have any complaints or any inquiry, you know what you ought to do. Just send us an email at thebrace@afchub.org, or send a DM to any of the admins in the WhatsApp group, and we'll be very happy to take up your questions and help you. So Margaret Ndwandwe, we're actually behind schedule. Muhammad Lawar, at the NCs, the program questions and all of that, please reach out to any of us in the WhatsApp group, and we'll be very sure to answer your questions. Please, thank you so much. I'm very sorry that we're not able to take these questions, but we'll surely address whatever issue that you have in the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for participating in the Brace Live Interactive session for week 5. I hope that you have gained value from this session, and then I look forward to having all of you on the call again next week for the week 6 live interactive session. Thank you so much, and do have a good evening, everyone.